All right, y'all. The artist behind the much talked about Dr. King and Coretta Scott King sculpture, Hank Willis Thomas, has spoken out, and he said he has no plans to change the piece of art. Thomas appeared on CNN, and when he was asked by Don Lemon if he had any plans on modifying or changing the work of art if it was requested, he said, I mean, by who? Because this was a piece that was selected by the people of Boston. This is not a Hank that just came out and put something out there. Now, thousands of people worked on this. Thousands of people actually put it together. Thomas continued, and to bring that to the King's legacy and to dictate the making of art and the celebration of them is really strange for me. I was surprised to see this was a brother. Okay, A, one. And two, Q, what are your thoughts on his response? And do you think he should modify the sculpture? What did you think about the sculpture?
You know what? This is one of those things where I try to be level-headed as possible. And I recognize the fact that I would never fit into like the New York art scene. I would never fit into the art gallery scene because all of that stuff be looking like a heap of junk to me, right? So because that's kind of my outtake on things, I was like, I mean, I guess. But just being an everyday layman walking through the city, I think that the statue should have represented Martin and Coretta in a non-abstract way. I shouldn't have to look at the little placard in front of it to look down and see what this thing is actually about. So I honestly think it missed the mark. If we are going to memorialize Martin Luther King, then he needs to stand just as tall and recognizable as all these Robert E. Lee statues that are across the U.S. and Mount Rushmore and every doggone thing else. Like for $10 million, we need to know upon first glance that that's Martin and Coretta. All in all, despite the fact that I'm not trying to be artsy, and I know I'm not artsy, that statue looked like a heap of junk.
I didn't like either. Al, did you like it?
I'm gonna have to disagree with the two of you. First of all, like we all have said, it took 5 years to make. It wasn't something that was just singularly decided because Hank wanted this. The citizens of Boston wanted this. Like Hank said, it was an entire process. People approved, reapproved, chose, rechose, and redecided and structured this from inception to completion. So
it was white.
I feel like for you to ask an artist, because artists are very creative and very sensitive, for you to ask an artist who put 5 years and $10 million into a sculpture to then modify it, I think it's just absolutely degrading to them as a sculptor and as an artist. I think that we will, this moment would pass as we try to digest the perversion perspective, and we're going to over time really understand how incredible this piece of art will symbolize the King legacy down the road.
Al, screw offending him and his damn legacy. That it's offensive to Dr. King's legacy. That statue is
that's your opinion.
And
that's your
you can't tell me that statue was commissioned by the NAACP chapter of Boston or the Martin LutherKing board of Boston.
Absolutely, Q. We know that. We know that the oldest. We know that Martin Luther King. No,
they must ain't got no real black people in Boston. Because if they did,
don't do that, Q. Don't do that, Q. We can't make it up now. We know that Martin Luther King Jr. himself, the son of Martin Luther King, approved it. We know that he has nothing but positive things.
He got dementia. He got dementia.
Boy, cut it out.
Okay, let me just jump in here and say something about this. I'm from that area. I'm from Rhode Island. It's about 36 miles away from Boston. My brother lives in Boston. There are a few Black people out there, especially in Roxbury and Dorchester and downtown. There's a few of us out there. It could be gone through all kinds of approvals from the boards or whatever. But from what I'm hearing, people don't like it that are there. The average person does not like it there. And we can have an opinion on art because that's why it's art, right? Like Al can love it, Q can hate it, I can feel like, We are supposed to give our opinions on this, right? I think it's horrible. And a place such as Boston that has such a reputation for racism, leave no doubts in anyone's mind that this was a really good attempt at what it was. Put the same effort you put into the aquarium that's amazing in Boston. Put the same effort you put into the tunnels that's in Boston. I don't know anyone that said they liked it besides Al. I haven't heard a lot of people like, I know you respect this artist and all that, and that's fine. And I can't criticize you for liking. You like what you like, but it looked like crap. It looked like a penis. It looked like Dookie, and I want to see it and be like, we got all these Confederate statues that we fight for them to take down. We know exactly who those people are.
Yes.
Without an explanation, I would never know who that was.
Right. I want his face flaunted in front of Bostonians. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want that palatable. It's giving me very, this won't upset the crowd over there because you really can't tell or see what it is. It just looks abstract. No.
Here you go, your little statue.
Right. I want it loud,
I'm
bold,
confused because
and in color.
didn't the individuals of Boston as well as the Black people of Boston vote on this? Because this was a historical, once Black neighborhood that this sculpture is located in. It wasn't like, you guys are making it seem like it was just this fly by night. No Black people had any input into it. And because the masses have made this a trend that it's something ugly, you're jumping on that train. I have to disagree.
Well, the Black people that voted on it were out of touch.
No, they didn't. Listen, they don't take a vote from the citizens and go, hey, citizens of Boston, do you approve of
Well, how do you know? They
said
said that the Boston citizens decided on this. They said thousands of people were involved in this process. They said there were committees, and I tend to agree that it probably was.
I highly doubt people came.
People of Boston. They're just.
I highly doubt people came out of their house during any of those elections, and that mess was on, and the picture of it was on the ballot, and that they could say this is what we want. I doubt that highly, and I think when they say the people of Boston.
Next topic, you guys are being disrespectful to the artists, and you.
Well, we're not trying to be disrespectful, sir. But I have the right to not like your art. It's ugly to me. It's ugly. It looks like a heap of junk. You think it looks great. I think it's a heap of junk. Which one of us is right? Neither of us is right. Neither of us is wrong. It just is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know if it's disrespecting the artist. You're not just there for positive, for the accolade. Just like people might love or hate this show, we still gonna do our show. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Right.
We personally don't like it, and you do. And hey, there's an audience for the people that do like it, Al. And I think it looks like Dookie. All right. Well, on that note, that's not a high note, but we're gonna go to a commercial break. And can y'all put your questions in the chat? Hey, do y'all like the statue? Let's ask the chat. Do y'all like the statue? Like,
I ain't even gotta ask them. I know they don't.
all right.
Y'all are horrible.
We're not horrible, Al. Is he a rich Black
That's
man?
horrible. That's an artist that's $10 million. That's a Black artist that had to go out and raise money to freaking, praise an icon, a civil rights.
He got it wrong.
You guys are beating
rich Black men can be wrong.
You're discrediting his ability to raise money as a Black artist.
We gotta go, you guys.
Create art for a racist town. It's just not.
Al, we gotta go to commercial.
We can finish this later. We got to go to commercial break and we can argue on the other side. We'll be right back.